Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Friday, October the 25th, 2018. Thank goodness it's Friday. Just remember that it's a volatile week, and if you're in profit for the week, um, I would be very cautious today. Keep it tight, keep it light. You don't want to ruin your weekend by giving back your profits. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. Our hypotheses are our trade plans. We do create multiple trade plans. We do not try to predict what the market's going to do. We wait till the market opens up, see who's taking control, and then we execute the hypothesis or trade plan that best suits the market. And then we adjust according to how context changed. And a good example of that was yesterday, and we'll get into that. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to, and then we do live trading analysis during the course of the trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and the trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. So going to the news, we did have GDP come out at 8:30. It came out slightly better than expected, 3.5 versus 3.3. The GDP price index, though, was a miss, and real consumer spending was 4.0. 58-minute, we've got Michigan consumer sentiment and expectations and all the associated with that. We also have, and this is going to be an important one, we've got ECB speaking, Draghi speaking at 10 o'clock as well. And then 10:15, we have ECB's Coer speaking. And then 11 o'clock, we've got Canadian budget balance. And then the Baker Hughes rig count at 1 o'clock. And then at 3:30, we've got the CFTCs, but they're not really going to make much of a difference. So just keep an eye out for 10 o'clock. That's going to be the big one, and possibly even the 1 o'clock with the rig count. Going and looking at yesterday. Yesterday, we were looking for our main hypothesis, which was an open auction, a move up into this 97 to 2600 or 2700, and we were looking for responsive sellers to rotate us down and continue the auction down. Hypo 2 was equally weighted, and that was a move down to close the gap and then start grinding our way back up into the 2711, which was our main target, which was the naked VPOC on the on Hypo 2. And then we just continued to grind up, and it looked like we were actually going to get into Hypo 4, which took us back up into the 2750 area. But they failed at the 2350, 2375. You can see this is a weak high here at yesterday's high. In the Globex, though, we opened. They immediately gapped down on the Globex open. Again, this is a classic Globex gap. So this is the ETH session right here, and then we have the close, and then we opened the Globex at 2678, and we left this this gap here and pushed down, had a foobar Mr. Sneaky, and then rotated back up and closed that gap, and then continued down, and we just basically been creating a very wide distribution, which is very blunt, but it's got a downward skew. The inventory is 100% net short. You can see again, we have OTF participation very, very heavy. The average is 110,000. We had 530, so we have basically 5 times the regular volume that we should see. So we know that the OTF is active. The other time frame contributors, participants. So they're active. Now we had right here we had the 8:30 news, and it immediately popped up 1550 points on the news, but has come off a bit. It is going to be, if we are the first thing you want to watch. You want to watch as we're coming into the RTH session. Are the OTF staying active? And I believe they are going to be staying active. So expect to see the wide range, continue. Now we did see a shift down of the VPOC lower, so value is coming down, and we're holding above it right now, and we've got this 2668, which is going to be a key area for us. So let's take a look at the bigger picture. I'm not going to bother with the macro to micro. I'm just going to go right to the structure because we're late today. So we've come down, we followed out of that balance, we came down into this area. We did that impromptu webinar the other night, the homework session. Make sure that you review that. That's a lot of information that you should be studying. And we've created a 3-day micro composite with the VPOC up at the 2707.75, but we've rejected that. So this is telling me that sellers are active in this area, and we're failed to hold the 27, and now we're right at the low of yesterday. The low for yesterday was 2667.50, and we're trading 1 point below it. So we are going to gap down. We have 100% net inventory, so we are looking for responsive buying up into the gap close and into this 77.25 area. But this is showing further weakness, and we tried to take back the significant breakout candle, but sellers stepped in late in the day and took us down, and we closed in the lower distribution. And then we extended in the overnight session. The low of the overnight session is 2646. So remember that 45.25 week low. That's something that we've got to pay attention to. Anyway, key levels to pay attention to on the bigger picture is 93 is still our key line in the sand above. 2750 still the key line in the sand below. Next big target is still down here at 41.75, and a key area is going to be this 49 area, 2649, and 2660 area. So let's start moving our numbers over from the Globex. Overnight high is 2690. Overnight low is 46. Six even. All right, so our 20-period daily ATR is running at 49.19. So off of the high 2690 minus the 49 19. Our downside, oh, come on, calculator, don't, I'm doing this on the fly, gang, so 2690 minus 2646 is 29. 2690 minus, my calculator is dying. 2640.75 is our downside ATR target, just below that naked microcomposite VPOC. All right, off of the 2646 plus 49.19, our upside daily ATR target is 26.95 and a quarter. All right, and our week open is up at 27.58, and our daily ATR, which is 1 day left, takes our weekly critical mass, comes down to 2709. As long as we stay below 2709, we're below weekly critical mass. That means that if we don't rally up to it and we come into the afternoon, we could see the buyers capitulate because there's no chance or very little probability that they're going to get back above the open of the week and turn this week into a positive week rather than a negative week. And we may see the buyers capitulate and the sellers take control and push us down. Levels to pay attention to, of course, is the 2650. We have the overnight VPOC at 2655. All right, so we got a trade area there. Really doesn't give us much information here until we get up into the 77 area. Value area low. And now I have to go to the bigger picture because I'm not getting a lot of information from the overnight session because it's a large, wide balance. 93 is going to be a key line in the sand for us right now. Oh, come on. All right, and the key line in the sand below is 2750. Our over under line is going to be 50. I'm going to use 49 actually. Okay, and then of course we've got the 2700. And that gets widened out. And then we've got the 1275 or 12. And this, unfortunately, between this 92.75 and the 84, there's really not a lot to go on. It's just you've you've just got this no man's land up until that 93. So just there's just not any information here, and there's not any information here. Sorry, here that's really going to tell anything, because this is a low volume node up to that 93, and the LVN is 93.50. So we're going to move the key line in the sand up 1 point. Well, actually, what we're going to do is put it at 93 and widen it so it incorporates both. Okay, so those are our key levels. What is our hypothesis? Well, we still have some weakness. So what are we trading? Why did my volume stop or data stop again? I don't know why it did that. Did that on both computers. I got a storm coming. Hopefully I'm not losing internet. We're currently trading right now at 64.50. So we do have a gap. If we open at 64.50 and our close was 85, our half gap is 74.75. All right, in terms of hypothesis, I'm looking for an open auction just in range, just out of range. I'm looking for a rotation up into the 75 to 85 area, and I know that's a wide area, but hey, the rotations are wide. But I'm looking for them to come up and test this area, take out the overnight high, and then find sellers and rotate us and continue down, and the target is still this 41.75. That is hypo 1. Unfortunately, because we are in this volatility, hypo 2, and we've been seeing a lot of rallying in the RTH, hypo 2 is an open auction just out of range, or just in range but out of value. They move down, test the 49, either push through and take out the overnight low, or leave the overnight low alone and then start grinding up again, and a rotation up towards the 27.0475. I mean, all the hypos are almost identical to yesterday, except for the targets are a little bit lower. Hypo 3 is a continuation day, open test drive, failure to hold and get into the prior day range, and sellers take us down, and we trend down, okay, towards this 27.50, and fight, with a late day probe possibly down into the lower 2600s, and maybe even the 2700 as a trend day down continuation. Hypo 4 is a take back open auction, just out of range or just in range. Failure to take out the overnight low, find buyers down here around the overnight VPOC, and then go strong impulse up into the 2693, chop in this area, and then continue up. And the target is up here at that 2750, and a outside bullish engulfing day. That's what I'm looking at. Remember, yesterday was a inside day on a significant breakdown day. What does that mean? It's basically a daily. I mean, actually, let's look at it on the daily. This is today. This is today. Yesterday was a basically a FUBAR Mr. Sneaky Tech Gap. So a move up to the 9 EMA takes us back to where? Back into that balance in around the 2750. So that is hypo 4. I just with the context, I would put bigger weight on that. But this move down in the late day session and the continuation lower in the Globex puts the likelihood of the FUBAR playing out today less likely. But keep in mind that we've been seeing a lot of low probability things in this market environment, so we can't put it past the realm of possibility and prepare for it. So basically, if we get above the 27.0475, then I'm expecting to kick in from hypo 2 to hypo 4 and move up into basically the same type of situation we had yesterday, where we were using the 27.11 area, okay, to transition us into hypo 4 from hypo 2. So same. That's going to complete our pre-market. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.